Bring the car into the garage.
Now after you pull it in the garage, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to put it in park, and then you're going to take your parking brake right here, and you're going to want to pull it up. Just like that. Now I find some lumber and block your tires up. Just like this. You want to take it, put it right behind the tires, so it don't roll on top of you when you're changing oil. Just like that.
After you get the tires blocked up, you're going to want to come up here and get your 3-ton jack and jack up the car. Make sure you put the jack on the frame. Your jack stands under. Find a good spot on the frame for them. You're going to want to try to put them pretty close to the same distance from the front on each side, and make sure that they're both to the same height, which it looks like they are. Then you slowly lower it down onto the jacks while watching to make sure it's not going to slip off. May have to adjust them a little bit as you bring her down. Like that. And you can bring the jack down and out of your way. Alright, the next step that we're going to do is to drain the oil. First thing that you want to do is to locate the oil drain plug, which is right here. Next thing you want to do is find out what size it is, and then take it off with your Craftsman tool set. We already found out that the size of ours is 15 millimeter. So we'll loosen her up and let the oil drain out. Make sure your oil pan is underneath where the oil is going to come out. It's not going to come straight down either. And then you let your oil drain.
Now the next thing that you're going to want to do after all the oil is drained out is to take your oil filter off and replace it with a new one. Now when you go to the store to buy your oil filter, they have a great big book there, and all you have to do is just look up the year, make, and model of your vehicle, and it'll tell you which one to buy. I prefer Fram. Now what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to find where the oil filter is. You're going to grasp it firmly, twist it off, making sure that the oil pan is underneath so there's no spillage on the ground. Nice and easy. Pop right off. Dump all the oil out. Now when you take it out, make sure you have your O-ring or your gasket intact, because if you don't and you leave it on the block, it'll become, or when you put your new one on, it won't seal right. And it'll leak all over creation. That'll suck. You're gonna have to keep adding oil and figure out where it is. And you take your new fry-on filter, take a little oil in your finger, rub it on the O-ring, just like that. And you take it and you put it right back where the old oil is, being careful not to cross thread. There you go, just like.
After you get the oil filter back on tightly and you make sure that you have any excess oil wiped up, you want to put the lug nut, or the oil filter plug back in. Just like this. And you have to make sure that you have all the oil drained out already, or most of it at least, so it's just dripping. You want to take your Craftsman 15mm, tighten her up, just tighten it up, and then you're ready to add the oil. After you get your drain plug and your oil filter tight and ready, you'll be ready to add the oil. You'll have to check your owner's manual, which comes with your car, how much oil to use. Our owner's manual tells us that we need about 4.5 quarts. Should be right here.
After you got all that stuff done, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to find out what kind of oil you need to put in. The owner's manual said 5W30, and then you want to put the oil in. Take the oil cover off. Set that aside. Take your funnel, stick her in there. It said 4.5 quarts. And just dump it in. Now that we added our 4 quarts of oil, you need 1/2 quart. So, you look on the side, figure out how much you got, and then go half. You dump some in there. Look at it, a little bit more. A little more, yeah. That's about right. Now after you got all your oil in, before you take your funnel out, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to check the oil with the dipstick. Pull it out, wipe it off, stick it back in there, pull it back out. That should say that we have enough oil. Yep, it's up to the fork dot. She is full. Now after you check the engine oil and everything is put in, take your funnel off, wipe it up, put it away, and then take cap, take it off, make sure the O-ring's on there, put it in there. Tighten it up. wipe off any spillage, and that's about it.
Next step is to jack it up and get it off the jack stands, and then take the car down, and then start it up and make sure she's good. Then you lower it down slowly so as not to ruin anything. And then you just get in the car and start it up. Let it run for a little bit.
Whoa, wait, Brian, don't you have to unblock the tires first?
Oh yeah, that's right. Get the blocks out of the way. So if you don't
Watch it, don't want that floor dented now.
Then let it run for a little bit to get the oil around.
Now that's how a proper car should sound.
You hop in. Make sure to release the parking brake.